Gentlemen, welcome to another Tactical Tuesday. This one we have lots of information. Not only are we going to cover from what we've learned from the other scenarios of the players in the tournament and through some of my games, demo charges. How and when to incorporate demo charges and get them off effectively. And who you need to target with the demo to allow you to pursue the victory conditions of your scenario. Do you have to drop a demo on the 16 chart -2 leader? Do you have to drop the demo on the artillery piece? Do you have to drop demo on the 426 broken half squad that's next to you? We're going to cover those questions. Hopefully, it'll increase the use of your demo charges in your games and the effective use of those demo charges. Of course, you always got to get shot. That's the whole point of demo charges. You're going to get shot because you've got 30 firepower coming at you. You have to expect to get shot. We go over that to minimize the damage from your units with the demo charges. Notice I said with the units with the demo charges. Damage to other units may occur. Damage to the demo charges is what we want to minimize because we want that demo charge to go off. Let's get to the first two examples, the only two examples that we have. Again, from some games we just covered recently. Again, this is not a criticism of those games. The players played very well in both those games. And it's just taking those situations and seeing how we can try to get those demo charges off. You know, both players almost won both those games without the demo charges. So imagine if we can add the demo charge to our repertoire and get that bad boy off a little more effectively. We'll be really blowing the living crap out of them. All right, guys, let's get to it. So, demo charge usage. And I think SK players are extremely crippled and hampered by their use of demo charges simply because the rules aren't, I don't want to say complete, but they aren't the same as ASL. So, I don't know if people view the demo charges. I think people view demo charges and flamethrowers maybe with the same perspective in terms of they need to be used to kill like the kill stack. You know, I need it to destroy the kill stack. And what's the biggest problem with that concept that you think, gentlemen? Is you need to use the demo charge and the flamethrower against his 24 firepower, you know, 9-2 stack.
Well,
you have to survive that 24 firepower.
Or yeah, there's the 36 plus column you have to face when you want to place it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a big problem. So with that in mind, how can you make use of a demo charge to allow you to be able to confront or defeat that stack? How do you think there's since you've I mean I don't know if I get away, but you need to attack and take it because he's sitting on the objective. You need to get there. He's got his other units involved. How do you think you can kind of get to, because there's no concealment in ASL SK. Concealment in ASL is a whole another ball of wax, but we don't have concealment in SK, which again makes it real hard for SK players to drop that demo because they can't sneak up with at least that half firepower and then place it later on or throw it or do whatever with it. I mean, you can do a number of things with demo charge. So it's much more difficult to get it there safely, with an unbroken unit. And considering there's no deploying, you're pretty much going to lose a squad or two in trying to get it there. So my concept and my thought pattern of the particular demo charges and the demo charge use is since you're much less likely to be able to get to your target of choice, right? Your 9-2 stack that's in the stone building with 16 firepower. That's pretty stupid. I mean, that's a stupid chart or whatever like that. So what will happen is he will have a bunch of periphery units around him, right? So they will either be cutting off potential route pass They're going to be giving him a flank defense. They're going to be there in case his HMG guy breaks and he can't route from it, and so he just occupies the HMG and he's back up and running again. You know, a lot of essentially support units. So if he didn't have those support units in the vicinity of his 9-2, then when his 9-2 finally gets attacked, essentially what you're doing then is you're limiting his fire capabilities. Let's say in this particular scenario, if you look at this game right here. So if we were the Russians right here, and I'm just going to put this guy up here just a little bit. The log file is irrelevant. So if we've got our stack of Russians in the front, usually you also want to include the time factor. This is a very short scenario. So if it takes you forever to place that demo charge, the effect shown from that demo charge by its attack will be, if I break some guys on the last turn, it's less likely to have an impact during the game. Usually they're going to route away. I might be able to take that location, depending on a number of factors. So yes, you have 2 demo charges. Yes, you could probably hold on to them near the end of the game. But do you want to is the question. Do you want to? Now, take the situation here. Let's say I'm going to put the MMG in the back where the 9-1 is here. We have an MMG down here. We've got this AA gun over here. So he's got some firepower in the area. And I'm going to put the LMG right here. And so we got this sort of situation here. So the LMG is obviously going to be a 12 firepower point blank. You know, you got the MMG in the back that can hit this location. You've got the AA gun that can hit that location. So, attacking this particular location is very difficult. I think my point is very, very difficult, and you kind of have to come at it in a couple angles. So, I'm gonna unbreak that unit on top. So we're gonna say that guy's good. Matter of fact, we're gonna say he's into the mortar. That's what we're gonna do. So we've got our medium, our mortar, our whole stack of troops up here in the front. So taking these guys down, how would you typically want to assault this sort of situation? Let's say if you wanted to place a demo charge on this LMG. Effective ways of getting that demo charge on that LMG are what? We have 2, 4, 7 squads that are right here. We've got a medium here that's not going to be able to move very far, and we got a 9-1 with a LMG and a 4.58, and we've got the mortar boy up top as well. So we have some guys that can do certain things. And anytime you want to play around with demo charges, you really have to focus on, just like we covered at the beginning, how do you get on him? He's got a shitload of firepower. This guy's got 16 firepower, even. He's got 8 plus 1 across the street. That's going to be hard to get. How do we sort of, quote, neutralize that sort of firepower that we have to deal with? And it's kind of like hold on, let me let my dog is, she's barking her damn ass off. Hold on a sec. Oh, sorry, I paused it anyway, so I screwed it. I'm recording this at all. So do we care if that 4.67 takes that shot? Do you care if the let's say for a fact this guy's going to jump you and this guy's going to jump you? Do you want to?
Well, I mean, you're already pinned, unless you break, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah, in which case you're probably in trouble right now.
If you break, what's the result? That's the first question that comes to mind. If you break, right, what is the result?
Well, if you break, you are eliminated for failure. Well, you might be eliminated for failure route, just because R2 probably can see you.
Yep, that's clear. That's clear as bell.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So this unit, again, demo charge placement. We are moving everybody, even when you assault like this. Even if you don't have a demo charge, you just want to jump the guy in close combat. When he's final predictive firing, fires, do you want him to be here already, or do you want him to step back? If he is here, you might remind him, if you wanted to, oh, by the way, if you break, you die. If you don't want him to fire on you. Well, by the way, if you break, you die. If you want him to fire on him, you don't bother to mention that he has nowhere to route to, right? He has to determine that on his own, but you can help him if that's kind of what you want to do. So if he breaks, he's a goner. He can't go here. He's adjacent to this unit. You know, he can't go this way or nor that way. He's gone. So if he rolls an 8 or higher, that's a KIA. He has a 43% chance of getting killed immediately from one roll. That's better than almost any chart. That's essentially probably like a it's like a 30. Essentially when he fires final protected fire, it's a demo charge attack on him with no modifiers. Essentially.
This might be a dumb question, but he can't low crawl to R4.
Nope. Why is that? Not a dumb question at all. That's the key question, by the way. That is the key question. Why can't he go to R4?
R2.
R2 is the problem. And that's why you might want to move R2 here before you give this guy an opportunity to decide whether or not he wants to final protective fire. If he hasn't moved yet, because he's over here, right?
I got you. Yep.
Right? If he's over here, and this is the situation, you might want to move this to cause him to final protective fire, and then you move this guy, 2, 3, 4, 5. And at that point, right? At that point, he has to fire upon you there. He has to fire upon you there when you move here. Why does he have to fire upon you when this guy breaks? 100% he has to fire this unit. Because if you don't, he's dead.
Yep.
If he doesn't try to break this unit, this guy dies because he's going to make it to this position. And with a 9 morale unit, most likely he's going to make it there. Because why is that? That's going to be a 6 even. I hate why they picking him up. I got to contact Doug about that. That's irritating as hell. 9 morale unit, it's 6 even. You can't combine the squad with it. It's just the A gun by itself. 6 even. Do we care about 6 even? With 9 morale. Not at all. Not even with the 7. That's not going to affect either one of these units. The leader's going to pass, and what's essentially the effective morale level of the unit that he's with? After the leader passes.
It's a 9.
9.
Same as him.
9. Is he going to be affected by a 6 even? No. He's going to laugh at you. Is this a shot here? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a shot there. That's a 4 minus 1. Do we care about a 4 minus 1? On average. On average, do we care about a 4 minus 1? Nope. 4 minus 1 is normal morale check. Are we going to pass those? Yep. On average. So, free. Now he dies. But of course, if you wanted him to die, you might want to bait that shot. So when he breaks, he'll think he has a low crawl position. And then, hell. If you just want to move the leader there, I'm not sure why you would. Like if it's a 6+1, if that's a 6+1 leader, you didn't really want to move in this area anyway, send him there, he dies. And let's say your plan was to move these guys down here for some reason. Send a 6+1, send a 2-3-7, or send a 4-2-6. This guy can't reach anything. He goes there 100% of the time. This guy's up here, he doesn't go here. He doesn't advance phase there. Well, actually, he'd have to be in cover. Now, this guy's not going to pass any morale checks, right? He'd have to double time. You probably want to double time that location. Do we care if this guy double times that location to cut this route path?
Nope.
Is there disadvantage? You get the +1, right?
Yeah, dude still can't route.
Yeah, and he's got no range. This 4-2-6 is not in an offensive position. He's got nothing. The 2+2, the Germans don't even care about this unit. The only thing you're doing is using him to kill him. That's it. And then he goes back to the woods or does something else. That's assuming that he was up there. So, but let's look at the numbers on this final protective fire trap. What do we need to affect? At least get a normal morale check on this unit right here when he assault moves there. Let's say we assault move there, or 2. Let's make it even. It's gonna be 2 even. It's gonna be a 2 even shot. What do we need to affect that 4-5-8? About a 2 even shot. I'm gonna roll my dice. Does that do anything?
No. On a 2, you said?
2 shot even.
2 shot even. That's a normal morale check.
Normal morale check. Are we gonna pass it on average?
On average, you are. Yep.
On average, we are. What's the likelihood of us getting a result on the 4-5-8 that's in our favor? If we roll a 7, there is 0 effect. Not even a pin task check. If you roll a 6, the pin task check, he needs to roll an 8. Pretty easy to pass. We need to roll a 5 to get even a normal morale check. Right? If we had an LMG, now if the situation were reversed, if we had an LMG there, the final protective fire would be, quote, even. Because if we roll a 7, well, we're pinned still, so it's going to be half firepower, so that screws us even more. So let's say the pin wasn't there. Let's say he wasn't pinned at all, and he just final fired. This gives the German the advantage, right? So we're not going to worry about the pin. That will essentially break even the German. You are 7 morale. You need a 7 for a result. So when you roll your 7, at least you're getting a normal morale check out of that instead of nothing. If your result is nothing when you roll a 7, then you probably shouldn't fire that particular shot unless you're desperate. Now, let's say he's not pinned and we don't want to fire that shot. Do we care about close combat? Let's say he jumps in close combat. Remember, he doesn't have the LMG, and our effective shot was a 5. Well, in this case, a 6. For a normal morale check, we needed a 6 to get a normal morale check, which he's going to pass most of the time. You know, a 5 is sort of like a break even. 5 and 4 is a break even on the 4 chart. Okay, let's take that to the next round. Let's say, obviously he's going to advance fire. Let's say nothing happens. 8+1, you know, that's a normal morale check on us. Let's just say we're fine, and then rally face, you know, he's in a situation. Do we care about getting jumped by 2, 4, 5, 8s in this situation? And let's look at the numbers. 2, 4, 5, 8s jump us. He needs what? First of all, there's ambush, which is possibly you can get. Let's say there's no ambush. But let's say you're in this situation here. What does the Russian need to completely eliminate you?
6.
6. So the Russian needs a 6. It's a decent roll, right? It's a decent roll. What do you need to completely eliminate one Russian unit?
4.
A 4. What did we read? What do we need to roll to get a normal morale check on the 2 chart when we were pinned earlier? Or right now we're at the 4 chart. We need a normal morale check on the 4 chart at a 6. So your odds are reduced a little bit, right? Between the 6 and the 4 is like 15 or so percent. It's not horrible, but the 4 is not great. But the normal morale check he's going to pass most of the time, right? The 4 on and the casual reduction is not too bad either. I mean, CR is not too bad. So you could argue the 5 or the 4 is a decent result. So if you rolled a 5 on the 4 in your final protected fire shot, it's most likely not going to affect the Russian unit. It's most likely going to pass those morale checks, right? But if you allow him to engage in close combat, your 5 or 4, instead of turning into a possible break, a 40% break, now you have a 40% chance of killing him. You know, because you could either casual reduce him, or you could kill one guy outright. Now he's just gone. And the other thing that you do is, let's say you both gack your rolls. What happens then? You tie him up. You tie him up. You say, you're not going anywhere, guys. You're done. You're not even defensive firing on anybody. You have 2 squads. You're not defensive. If this guy survives the demo charge or whatever happens, or if the demo charge wasn't placed, they're not defensive firing there. This guy was pinned. Their advanced fire attack's probably going to be limited. So at the beginning of next turn, you might be looking at something like this. You might be looking at something like that, or what have you, because you already lost 2 units over here. They don't get to fire. The Russian attack just got stalled. Okay, so you lock it up in close combat is a win, considering he needs to get here. He's not leaving. Hopefully, he won't kill you in close combat next turn. But I mean, you can only hope. You can only hope. But he cannot defensive fire on you. He just lost 16 firepower, or 8 plus 2, and you still pretty much have your entire entourage of units to fire. So melee in this situation as a defender is not too bad, because most of the time, especially in starter kit, you're probably going to tie the guys up. You know, will you lose? That's yet to be determined. You might get lucky. You know, most likely he has. I mean, obviously he has advantage, right? So there's that. But taking the demo charge into consideration. All right, so he has to final protect the fire, and that's just kind of going off the final protect the fire. So the demo charge goes here instead of here. It goes off 6 plus 3, a 9 on the 30 chart is only a 2 morale check. Is this guy going to break most of the time? Most of the time he's going to break. Okay. Say, Stu, you just wasted a demo charge. Did I? Did we? He's got a route, right? Might go there, might go here, or might go straight back. Don't know. Well, he can't go straight back. He has to go back over here because this guy's here, which could help us, right? So that's not such a bad deal. And then worst comes to worst, we could try to engage this guy in close combat if we have somebody available. And now everyone scoots up into whatever locations. I think these guys are in close combat. Some guys are in close combat over here. I'm not sure if I wanted that, but the 9-1's over here. So we've got some other fire attacks. We've got a close combat here. Let's say that goes into melee. Is this a good position for the Germans? Is this a good position for the Russians, or neutral? What do you guys think about that? These units in T6, let's say they don't rally. They need 6s to rally. It's not too bad. But let's say they don't rally. Are these guys going to be up in the Russian player turn? Are these breaking?
Well, the odds are probably fairly favorable. One of them is going to be
In the Russian player rally phase.
Yeah,
Not the
I would
German.
say so.
yeah, the next turn.
When the Russian needs them.
10. Yeah, now you're looking at 10. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the 10s. If these guys don't rally, just leave them there and say, the hell with you. We don't need you. Unless it's the demo charge guy, because you definitely need him. So they're going to rally. A lot of times. They're going to rally, 11 out of 12 times they're going to rally. So they're coming back. 100%. That's why we don't care if they break, because they're all coming back at the beginning of our turn as the Russians. They're all coming back. We have enough troops that we can defensive fire and do this sort of bullshit. Even if we lose this guy in close combat over here, that might be a bad thing, but at least we have a small chance of maybe tying him up, because at this point it kind of ties him up. So essentially that neutralizes the 16 firepower if we tie him up. Even if he casually reduces us, do we care? No, because he's still in melee. What are we gonna do next in defensive fire? We're gonna blast him. We're firing 16 firepower into that melee. Because guess what? He's gonna break. He has 2 chances of breaking. We have 1 chance of breaking, even if it's a 2 morale check. He needs a 7, and if he doesn't roll the 7 for his leader, this other guy needs a 5. He's gonna break. If we break, we break. But at least we neutralize the medium machine gun. This guy might be able to fire. You might have a mortar, depending if he's up here. He might be able to fire. Or a target, depending on what the Germans does. But what I'm saying is throw the bodies against the wall. If you want to place the demo charge, you got to throw the bodies against the wall first. Okay, to draw the fire so the demo can move up. Don't worry about the residual firepower, because you're not taking that first shot. The first shot is the key shot. It's the 8 firepower. It's the 12 firepower. It's the 16 firepower that the demo charge guy is never exposed to in this situation. We don't want to expose him to 16 firepower. We don't want to expose him to 12 firepower. 8 firepower is pushing it. We want residual there. 6 firepower residual, don't care. 4, don't care. 2, 1, we laugh at that shit. We just keep running. We just keep running through the hex, and we don't care. That we want to use our bodies that we're going to rally 100% of the time at the beginning of our next rally phase. We want to use broken bodies. If 3 guys broke here, we don't care, because they're all coming back in the Russian turn next turn, and you're only moving 2 hexes away. You're not going the whole way back here. You're not moving 6 hexes away. If you do that, just you might as well just surrender, because now this guy's turn and a half from his objectives. You want to be right here. So you go 2, 4, and if he has a demo charge, this guy can go 2, 4, drop a demo charge there for 6 if he needs to, if he wants to. I mean, or drop a demo charge out of that damn melee. Hell, if you're a half squad at this point, and it's the Russian player turn, I might well be inclined to assault move here and drop that, or move 2 there and drop the demo charge into the melee. 30 plus 2, right? What are we going to lose?
Well, I mean, the other thing to think about, of course, is if everybody in that hex is broken, then who cares?
Right. What do we accomplish?
You at the cost of one of your squads, you've neutralized the machine gun position and taken out a 9-1 leader. So
yeah, he lost 9-1, medium, squad. You lost a squad. That's a win. You've got more units than he does. Your morale's better. This is a win. You blow this guy up, create the crack. Next turn, the broken unit, 2, 4, 6. Don't move the leader with him, and don't send the leader with you. The leader needs to rally. The leader's not dropping demo charges in this one. You guys are 8 morale. You need to have those guys do the work for you, not the leaders. The leaders need to get these guys up and going. Why? Because we're looking at open ground. We're looking at point-blank fire. We're looking at lots of attacks. These guys are going to be breaking. You need to rally them. You don't need your leaders broken in this game. And so, a 30 in that melee, perfect. This is perfect. That's a free demo charge placement there. What's the worst that's going to happen to our unit? Could he die? Sure. Is he likely going to die? Not likely. Not likely. But there's going to be some pain. There's going to be some pain felt in that location. If you roll a 4, a 6, ooh, that's going to be a K4. Do we care who gets the K4 in that sort of situation? If we get the K, do we care? Nope. These guys are going to take it 4 morale checks. Are they going to pass it? Nope. Most likely not. Did we do the same thing that we wanted to do before? We want to get a demo charge on this guy and this guy. It succeeded, and all these guys are broken, and these guys are gone. These guys are broken here, these guys are broken there. You did what you wanted to do. Now what do you have to deal with? When these guys break, you kill your own unit, and you can't look at one turn ahead. You gotta look further ahead. Both of these guys break. Let me select these idiots. These guys break, and the melee's over, the demo charge is gone. Where does he gotta go? Remember, A plus 2 or A plus 1. Do we care about that shot? It's a good shot. What do we want to move in there first? If we want to place a demo charge here, we want to put this guy there first. That way he fires there at A plus 1. Leaves how much residual?
2.
A 4.
Oh, wait.
Because there's no hindrances.
Oh,
and then our demo charges come in 2, 4, and then takes a 4 plus 1 shot. Do we care about a 4 plus 1? Nope. Not at all. You should not care about the 4 plus 1. And then we blow this guy up. We kill our own unit. Those guys break. Is that a win? Pretty much damn one could be, because guess what? These guys are still to move. You've got these guys in melee. Let me get rid of this. No, these guys are in melee. And you've got those 2 guys there. And you have your other entourage units down here. What can they do? This guy can move here. Or even here. Or, well, you probably don't want to go here because it's 16. You might want to go here. Go 1, 2. You might want to CX him. 1, 2. What's he going to do? He's going to fire some guys. What's it going to do to those guys? Right? He's going to first fire them. Obviously, these guys may have moved up. Let's just say they moved up. Right? What are these guys in the back going to do? They're going to make their move this way. You take the one objective, and these guys are pretty much free to move to get in positions later. Let's say they advance there. This guy advances over here. This guy advances here, down here. I wouldn't want to leave him in the open ground because this guy's going to shred him. Moving behind. Now the AA gun has no effect on these units. And you've already cracked the egg in the middle by your methodical approach on that guy there. And you've got a semi-flanking force here. Is this force strong? No, but we do have bodies. If we can get into this position, at least with this guy, he's got 1 hex that he could fire on. These guys could possibly get into that location, do the same thing. And at this point, it's bodies thrown against the wall. Do we have more bodies than the Germans? Yes. Because this is gone. There's no way he's holding this because you've got this 458. You got a mortar boy up here. You got the medium here, and you've got a melee here, which may or may not go your direction. These guys got a route. Where are they going to route to? Most likely they're going to route across the street. But if you've got a unit here, if I've got a 4-5-8 there, 1, 2, 3, let's say 4-5. Let's say he moves 4-5 in here. These other guys aren't there yet. We got a 4-5-8 here because that was broken last turn. 1, 2. Let's say he gets shot, breaks in the street. Next unit. This guy's first fired. Let's say the A gun's first fired. Then we can move the other unit leader 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all we really need to do is be here. Why? Where's this unit going to rally? Route to. He can't go to P6. He can go to O6, but once he goes to O6, right? Are you guys following me there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Route phase right here. I'm sorry, I'm rushing. My mind's just busy. Route phase. What happens when you make to this position? Remember, let's just say the couple guys break down here. I'm not saying this is perfect. A couple guys break because they get shot up, generated by first fires, right? This shot, the 4, 6, 7, and N8 to R8 is what? Are we concerned with this shot here when we're non-assault
really.
moving?
It's a 4-up-1.
4-up-1. Do we care about a 4-up-1?
Not really.
If we pin, is that a problem? If we break, is that a problem? Maybe not if we break, because we have to route first. Let's assume we break and we route here. Is that going to cause problem with the Germans? I don't know. Let's see if this LOS exists. The LOS does not exist. So at that point, this might be possible. That exists. Unfortunately, it's a range of 5. And let's see. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. Actually, if you break, let's say that guy doesn't even make it there. Let's say the guy just befuddles himself and wants to go this way. Where's this guy routing? You route first as the Russians. Where's this? Let's say we have a little shitty. Let's say we don't want to put that guy there. This is actually a really good example. Inadvertently created. So we have 2 broken units here. Well, actually, this guy can't go there. Let's say they both broke in this location here. And this is the situation because you broke guys by throwing demo charges, and this is the result at the end of the fire phases, and now it's a route phase. You route first as the Russians. Where are you routing these guys, and why?
Well, if they route to, well, I mean, if they route to S9, then let's see, then the unit in Q6 who has to route, well, I mean, he can go to P5, but I suppose that's not.
Oh yeah. Good idea. Good idea. Let's see. This is.
Yeah, I mean, or he goes back
Okay.
to. I mean,
he's got line of sight to this guy up there. This is a key line of sight. If he's not up there, then the situation changes. Let's say he's right there for whatever reason. First of all, which of these guys, one or both of them, is going to S9 and why? This is where you don't just say I'm going to route and I'm just going to throw my guys' units. Decide who you're going to route and why. Do both of them want to go there? Do one of them want to go there, or none of them? Well, actually, we want to cut the route pass, right? We want to stop them coming in this direction if we can. And can we? The answer is yes, we can, because if you go to S9, right, this unit can't go to Q7 and come across. He has to go to P6, but once he reaches P6, he can't come down. So the only place this guy can go to is 07. Right? This guy can only go to 07. If this unit were not in line of sight up here, if 9-1, for whatever reason, let's say he moved down here, was not in line of sight.
But what's stopping the unit there from going to P5?
This guy?
Yeah.
Well, he has to go to P5 if your 9-1 isn't there. And that's good.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's...
Because he's just going to be DM'd the whole time. He's going to eventually die. We want to keep him on this side of the road as much as possible. The guy in P5, where does he have to go? if you have a DM unit in here. He can't go to P6 because that's getting closer.
Right, but the unit in P5 technically doesn't have to route at this moment.
Right. But do you want to remain DM'd? I mean, do you want to stack all you guys here with...
Well, probably not. That's probably...
Right, because you have the advanced phase, right? All you're going to do is this. All you're probably going to do is this. And now you're still going to be DM'd anyway, without him even firing at you. He doesn't even have to fire at you at that point. And then what are you subjected to? Both of these are interdictable hexes if you leave somebody in the road here with range. If you leave the LMG right here, which you may or may not want to, both those are interdictable hexes to low crawl. Again, are you rallying those units? No. It's a short game. You can't let these guys be DM for 3 or 4 turns. You're just going to lose. So you might want to rally them, move them to location. Yes, if the 9-1 is up here, he can't. He could ignore this location because that's 4 and that's 4. He could go there, but he could ignore it. Most likely he'll ignore it because there's so many Russians there. But he could go P607 across the road, right? Both MMGs over there, and at that point we'll make sure we don't keep him DM, right? But the other unit can't go to 07 because that would be getting closer to a broken unit down here. So he'd have to go to N5. So he'd have to go further away from where our objectives are. That's kind of like the whole point. Whether he takes interdiction, low crawl, interdiction, we don't care. He's not going towards our other objective. He's getting further away from the fight. Now, in deciding who to route, who do we select to route to this location in S9? Do we send the 8 morale unit, the 5 morale unit, both of them? We want to send one of them, right? Because we want to cut that route path to P7. Which one do we want to send and why? Or both of them. I mean, the choice is yours. You make a decision. Somebody's going there, whether it be one or both of them. You tell me which one or ones and why.
We don't have any leaders down there, so I mean, right. I suppose you want to leave down. I mean, you might think about just leaving the conscript unit down there. I mean, how much firepower does he have?
Right. Now, technically, if you saw this broken here, and you hadn't moved your medium first, remember, move your leaders last. In this case, move your leaders last. 2, 4, 6. Let's say he ends up here. That's 2, 4, 5. He just ends up there. So we have this situation. We need S9 occupied. Who are we sending? That guy. Just like you said, we don't have a leader down there. No one's going to rally him. This also gives him an opportunity. So you could send the 8 morale unit down there, but you could argue you could probably want to send the 8 morale unit. But if he continues to DM the 8 morale unit, you're going to have a problem. You're using this guy to break these guys. Could you send the 8 morale instead? Because you can say, well, I could self-rally him in my turn, assuming he's not DM'd. If the 8 morale unit goes here, actually he go, because you got first 2, 1, 2, 3. You don't have LOS to this guy or that guy, so it'd only be have to because of this guy. So you can go up here and then there. You're going to rally in your turn with a 9. This guy down here, you don't care if he's going to rally. Why? Because you've got other guys in that whole area. So essentially, these guys are going to start to cut route paths. Do they have lots of firepower? Individually, no. But if we fire at this guy over here, how much is that? Well, first of all, 2 guys can't even see him. So it's 2, 4, 6. 6 plus 3, that's our only shot. That's all we got to go. Can a 6 plus 3 DM, guys? Yeah. So if anybody gets DM'd from here and routes back to here, we keep them DM. And plus, if we move to this location here, does he fire on us? At that point, our other 4, 5, 8s are further up. But again, we're just looking at the route. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I just get ahead of myself. Oh my god. So we're just looking to cut that route. And we'll throw the shit unit if you don't care. If you need the 4, 5, 8 over here, throw the shit unit there. Because technically he could possibly self-rally. And you got 4 or 5 other units. These guys are not your assault force. Don't think that they are. They're 4.26s. They are not the assault force. They're the harassment force. Right? The 4, 5, 8s are doing the job. This guy's going to rally next turn. And what can he do? He could just run across the road again when this guy's distracted. Or shot to death. Because now you've got some other firepower that's got nothing to shoot at but the AA gun. You know, he has to make a decision. But as you see, it's not easy to get that demo charge in those locations. Now, any questions on this before we throw you into another situation real quick? Any sort of situation. You can approach it different ways. Remember, like I said, if you wanted to use a demo charge to distract them because you wanted to move your units down south across the road, that's a possibility too, because even if they break, they're going to rally in your next turn.
Sure. Yeah.
Not a problem. It all depends on what you want to do, but you have to get those first fires out in the open first so your other guys can move freely. That's the whole concept, whether you're placing a demo charge or simply just maneuvering units. Get the first fires out. If you don't care if you break. Why? Because the entire forest is yours, and it's a happy and very serene place in the wintertime deep in Russia. You know, these guys are going to rally. The Germans are not coming towards you. Why? You got 1,000 426s here saying they're not going to make it. And if they do, if he breaks right there, let's say he DMs you. Joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, German. If we break you, what happens to him? He's gone.
Yeah.
He DMs us, we route back 1 hex, we break him, he dies. That's a good deal. He's got 7 morale. 1 less guy that we have to deal with on victory point. He's not coming after you. This guy could sit here for days and have all types of, the finest Russian vodka and any other sort of goods that he's stolen from the German army already. He's not coming after you. Unless something really bizarre happens, not coming. He's got too many 8 morale units. I'd be scared shitless if these guys took these buildings. So, any other questions based on the routing, the order of movement concepts, the placement of the demo charge? You don't care about being CX when you're placing a demo charge. You don't care. It's a 30 chart, people. You don't care about a +1. He's already going to be in a stone building or wooden building. Another +1 is really not going to change the effect of the morale check. Most likely you're going to get a 2 morale check or 1 morale check. That's really good against 7 morale units. That's really good at 2 morale check. If you have to roll a 5 for a pin, you're loving life because you're jumping in close combat anyway. And he's going to have a 1 to 2, you're going to have a 1 to 1. Assuming he doesn't have a leader. Right? So, you don't care about that part. The 2 morale check is huge, and the +1 is really not going to affect it that much whatsoever. Really not. Don't be afraid to CX. Which makes leaders with demo charges much more scary because they could run 8 hexes or 6 hexes and throw the demo charge on you. That's pretty stupid. You could legit have this leader back here, right? CX 2, 4, 6, and drop a Christmas present right on those units. And he's 4 hexes away. That's some scary stuff there, and he's never going to see that coming. Get a couple first fires going here. Oh God, he's got nobody else coming. I'm going to fire. Boom, 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 boom. Fire, first fire, subsequent first fire. Leaves a couple residual in there. Do you care? Nope. Boop, boop, boop. Boom. He blows up routes. You occupy that location. You get the hex. That's what you want the demo charge for. The demo charge is to crack his defense. It's not to kill. It's not to kill stacks of units. It's not to kill the 36 -2 child. You'll never get there. You'll never get next to that guy to drop a demo. I guarantee it. Unless he's got smoke in front of him, and unless he's got smoke on him, and there's smoke next to him. There's no way you're getting next to this guy. So don't fantasize that you're getting close to this guy anytime soon. He's going to rip that demo charge to shreds before he gets even close to you. Especially if you're running out in the open. If you've got cover, that's one thing. That's what we're going to go with our next one. So, any other questions on this one?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, if you recall some, don't worry about it. Then you recall some, we'll revisit it. Okay, if you recall some, we'll revisit it. Let me load up the other one. Different situation. The scenario is. Okay, so where are our demo charges? Let's get rid of CX for a second. We got a demo charge on the leader here, demo charge on the 9-1 leader here, and we got a demo charge up here. We have 3 demos in this scenario. What's the first thing that comes to mind? We have 3 demolition charges, and we have 3 guns that we need to knock out. What are your initial thoughts of the scenario? How are you going to use the demo charges? Your initial thoughts coming out of the bin, right out of the gate. 3 demos, 3 guns. What do you generically think?
Use them on the guns.
Yeah, you're tossing. Yeah, you're planting demo charges on the guns.
Okay, right? How much firepower does the gun have? With the rate of fire, mind you.
It's 6 with the rate of fire. Let's see. I can't quite read that thing.
8.
8 with the rate of fire. Yep. Okay.
This is the same situation that's in the building from last game, except for you have 2 rate of fire on everything, not just the medium. This is more dangerous. And what makes it even more dangerous, gentlemen? What's the likelihood of us getting a demo charge on these guys? And why? Unlikely. Is there any terrain that gives us any modifier from any sort of protection? If we move, let's say 2-4, what's that shot? 16 minus 1. We got demo charge boy up top. You definitely don't want to get him, but I'm not criticizing the place. I'm just showing you the different situation. Let's say he CXs. Remember, this guy, don't care if he CXs. 2-4. This is sort of what we're looking at. And then you see this unit. This was kind of what the attack was like. Sort of like this. What's the likelihood of these demo charges getting placed on these? Let's say everyone has 2 movement factors left and can place on these things. What's the likelihood, given this situation, that any of these units make it?
Wouldn't think so.
Very, very low. You might get 1, but it's very low. This one here has got to change his covered arc. Does the covered arc change matter for this gun? Do we care that covered arc it changes? As the British.
It doesn't hurt that bad. It's 360.
All right. It's going to be +1 modifier because you're not in the woods, and don't put these damn things in woods. It's +1 modifier. Doesn't reduce your rate of fire. 16 firepower.
Doesn't? Oh, wait. But no, it doesn't. The question is, it does reduce the rate of fire, correct? Covered arc changes do reduce the rate of fire.
With the 360 arc?
Pretty sure.
All right, let's say it does reduce the rate of fire. Now he has a rate of fire of 1. 16's going off.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's right. It's a 16.
16 minus 1, 16 even. It's going to be the exact same result. It's going to be a 2 morale check or a 2 morale check on a 7. It's going to be exactly the same result, whether he changes his covered arc or not. Exactly the same result for this guy. This guy, same thing. He could fire there.
Right, yeah, and a non-turreted gun changing its covered arc.
Right.
Yeah, there are some instances, however, this rate of fire can be lowered. Oh, okay. All right, non-turreted gun changing its covered arc.
Yeah, that's a turreted. Yep. So,
okay.
Even regardless, let's just assume he's going to get 1 shot off. He's much more powerful than the other situation. Because the -1 leader, he's technically the -1 leader because he's not assault moving, right? Because technically it's almost exactly the same situation. Whether he turns his covered arc for 1, 16 plus 1, 16 even, same result on our 7, gentlemen. Same result on our 7. You're getting a 2 morale check whether you roll a 7 or a 6. Exact same result. So the +1 change doesn't matter to the Brits. The +2 up here, does that change? Does that matter? Or what's going to happen first? Let's say he moves this guy here first, and he shoots. Right? Again, 16 minus 1.
Yep.
This guy moves here. What's going to happen?
Now, 16 plus 1 if he kept raid.
Or
would it be a Tinson fire? Or
look at V4.
Oh.
That's a 6 minus 2.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You take 6 minus 2. Yeah.
6 minus 2. That way he doesn't have to swivel.
Yep.
And if he does nothing, then he swivels. Right. This guy's not firing at him. That's like the stone building is in. So you just if this guy has no effect, he swivels. Again, +2. He's in the open, and he's not assault moving. Well, in the open is going to be nullified, right? That's the same shot as this shot here. This is 16 plus 1. 16 plus 1 if he moves his covered arc. Let's say his covered arc was like something, over the... Oh, thank you, CX. There you go. All right. So we're looking at 16s across the board. Do we want 16s? Excuse me. We don't want 16s. We don't necessarily even want 8s in this situation, to be honest with you, because there's just simply no inherent cover in our locations. So what can we do? What in this situation is a little different than our last one. Let's back this guy up. I think he's here, and this guy's over here. This guy, I don't know if they advanced phased up, or I think they were right there. Yeah, the wounded leader, put him on the bottom. And he had the LMG. He probably just wants to drop the LMG. We don't care about the LMG. How could you get, and I think this gun, I think it was like that. Let's do it like that. Okay? So how could you get either this turn, let's just focus on this guy up here. We're going to assume this guy's not going to fire on any attack up here. This guy's not going to fire on any attack up here because he might. But let's just take it up for instance, okay? Let's just focus on these units here. We want to assault this troop over here, right? Because he's got some troops here. We might not want to engage those guys first. He's got a lot of units. We've only got like 2 squads in the vicinity, 1 leader. That's a losing situation most of the time. Most of the time. I mean, it's not great. It's not great. But this, we have 3 squads, and then we have 2 squads right here, and 2 leaders. 2 leaders, 2 demos, and we're looking at this situation here. Remember, demo charge usage is what we're looking at. We're not criticizing people's play. We're just looking at demo charge usage. As you saw, if we ran our demo charges up there and tried to place them just normally, even with the gun spinning, even when we spin 2 hexes, 16 plus 1 or 16 plus 2, we don't care. It's going to be pretty disastrous. They're going to be taking some serious morale checks. Plus, in this situation, you have 1, 2, 3 leaders in the game. Do you want to use your leaders to make the special deposit? Probably not. Why? Because that's all you got. And in this situation, if you guys have played this scenario, what's the biggest problem that you have? The biggest problem that you have in this scenario, and that you must address and really focus on. Routing directions. This scenario is all about screwing your opponent in his route paths. This unit breaks right here. Where's he routing? If this guy assault moves up here, this guy breaks. Where's he routing? The 7-0. I'm just gonna put DM on. He breaks.
W5.
W5. Or he technically
W4
or W4. Is he going towards the objective?
No.
Nope. So that's a win, right? He's going away from where he needs to be, right? Just like at the bottom, right? Just like the other game, we DM'd him. He can't route across the street. The squad on the 1 hex can't route across the street. He's got to route towards the AA gun, right? Same situation here. He can't route to where he wants to defend, right? First of all, I don't know if you can see the guys. Let's assume he can't see anybody else but these guys over here. He has to either he stays there or he routes away over there. So if we DM this guy, he's pretty much going to be out of the fight for a turn or 2 easily. And another thing of knowing your OB, the 4-5-8s. What are the 4-5-8 strength in the Russian scenario? In the Russian scenario last turn, what strengths did the Russians have with those units? Morale, obviously. Morale is the first thing I look at. Do they have any smoke making capabilities?
Nope.
What else do they have that they don't have the smoke? Kind of makes up for the smoke. Sheer numbers. He's got numbers. The Russians have numbers. That's one of their advantage. They can throw more bodies in it. When they break, they route back, they get rallied, keep throwing them back in there. You rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. If the chances are you're just going to break, You're going to rally when it's your turn again. So it's like you never broke. You just back up a hex. Now the Germans here, on the other hand, don't necessarily have numbers. They do have 548s, and the 548s are probably the strongest units in the game. What 3 strengths does this 548 have in this scenario?
Smoke as well.
Smoke is 1. 2's nothing to spit at.
Morale.
8
they
morale,
have
number
fire.
2. And the other thing,
Assault
Assault
fire.
fire.
assault fire is the key. All that combined means these guys are the baddest asses on the battlefield, bar none, except for maybe your 6.67s for the Americans, and maybe a couple others, but those are all super elite units. These are Fallschirmjägers. These guys are badass. When he moves, he's firing at essentially at full firepower for all intents and purposes. If he assault moves here, how much is he firing at that unit at? If he assault moves.
4.
4. If he prep fired there, what was he firing at? If he prep fired.
4 as well, right?
4.
Yeah, 4 as well. So whether you're prep firing or moving, it's exactly the same chart. If he assault moves here and fires on you, what's he going to fire at?
8. No.
What's the
6.
fire chart? 6, right? Doubled halved plus 1, 6. Pretty damn good, considering it's more firepower than what he's got, right? I mean, that's kind of strange that he fires at a 6 chart adjacent. Do the Americans 667. Where is this son of a bitch? Let's go to 666, right? He moves adjacent. Fires. What's he fire at?
6 as well.
6 as well.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
American, shit morale. Very difficult to get close to your units. But once you get there, you've got lots of firepower, you've got lots of smoke, and that's the whole key. Not the Fallschirmjägers, if they had 3 smoke, they'd be broken. They would break the game. You would win every single game with them. So we want to take this down with our demo charges. We're looking at open ground. The wheat fields are going to essentially cause almost open ground. These are crap. They do negate moving in the open, which is huge. Big difference. We've got a couple demo charges we can bring to bear. This unit we know has to swivel, right? He's got to swivel 1, 2. If we move to T3, he's got to swivel 2 hexes, right? So what can we do to allow that unit to get close to place that demo charge? There's a couple things, right? Now, let's say smoke, right? So who would you smoke? We're going to look at the smoke. We're going to attack it with smoke, and smoke is the key. As well it is down here. It's just going to be the same principle up here that we're going to have down here. This is just more dangerous. I'm just going to show you the more dangerous one. But you apply the same principle down here when you're assaulting this gun. So, we want smoke. How are we going to get the smoke there? And where are we going to put it?
From T2 to T3. Oh, you're talking about north side or?
Yeah, not north. Up here. We're gonna deal with this situation up here. We want to attack this one. But what I'm saying is the principles up here apply exactly the same down here, except we have a little bit of wheat field to help us. Up here, this is the worst situation, so I'm giving you the worst situation. Okay? It's always the worst situation because you have to count on the worst situation. How do we get smoke to T3 effectively?
How to go from T1 to T2.
Okay, 2.
Which you might take first fire.
Right. He might, right? If you got a demo charge here and he hasn't moved yet. Oh, sorry. Let me unmove these guys. And he hasn't moved yet. Could he fire on him? Absolutely. He could possibly fire on him. He could swivel. That'll be a +2 for swiveling. Your +1 in the woods, non-assault movement. So that's going to be an 8 + 2. Is that going to affect our unit?
Might pin him.
Might pin him. He'll get a pin task check on average. Is that an effective shot for the AA gun?
I'd say not.
Yeah, it's marginal to meh, right? Considering you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squads and 2 leaders down here with 2 demos. That's a marginal attack. Let's say we don't fire. And let's say our smoke doesn't work. Let's say we roll 3. I mean, because you do 1 and 2, it's not bad, but it's not great. It's not American smoke. 1 and 2, it doesn't work. Then where do we go? So now he's at 4 movement factor, so he's done. What's our other option? And let's assume that the leader doesn't have the demo charge.
You could try to bring in the unit from, where is that? U1. Try to lay down smoke. Maybe bring them up to, well, you'd have to CX them if you brought them up to T2 to lay smoke in T3.
Right.
Correct? Yeah.
Do we possibly, now when this unit is ready to go across, when the demo charge guy is ready to go across, do we possibly, so he has to CX. So that's good. We're just thinking about smoke right now. And we want smoke in T3. T3 is the spot to put smoke in. And let's say he succeeds. Let's say one of these 2 guys succeeds. There you go. There's a 2 and a 1. We got. It's about probably a 50% chance. So let's get a smoke counter up. So we drop smoke here. Okay.
Well, a chance of 2 of them, one of the 2 of them succeeding.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. I'll work on that while you keep going.
What is it, Mark? Okay. Yeah. Give one guy a 1 and the other guy a 2.
Right. So.
Not the best situation, but.
Not the best situation. It's 2 and 6. It's 2 and 6 and 1 and 6. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay.
Right. So we're looking at smoke here. What's our next move, gentlemen? What's our next move? What's the objective?
Putting demo in T4.
Putting demo in T4. This is the objective. What's our next move?
Bringing up the demo. Go to, well, if you go to U3, you can get first fire from V4. So,
do we want to get shot at from V4? Are we taking advantage of our smoke?
See, that was no, we're not taking advantage of the smoke from there.
Right. So there's no point.
No.
Right.
Yeah,
so
you might as well go to T2.
All right. T2. Are we taking advantage of our smoke?
Yes.
That's a clear line of sight to T2.
Oh, never mind. Wrong on that.
Remember, it's SK. You can see everything. Just assume you can see everything in SK. These boards are it's very forgiving. So you can see that. And again, if you can't see that, read the article Geometry ASL or check out the videos that I made. Very critical that you be able to spot, or at least say he could probably shoot me there. He could probably shoot me there. Ooh, this guy's a problem, right? This guy's a problem. This guy's a problem. How do we neutralize the 7-0 as a problem? We want the demo. This is our objective. That's our objective.
Maybe you put smoke in U3 from
broaden
U2.
your vision. Broaden your vision, Daniel.
Can we use the guy in X6?
X6 is the answer.
Fire.
Yeah.
Why is X6 the answer?
Get that unit to first fire and maybe adjacent, and then he can't shoot beyond adjacent.
He's got a demo charge, right? You could either. I'm not moving the leader with him. This guy the leader actually had the demo charge. What I would have done in rally phase, whether this guy's got it or that guy's got it. Let's just assume the leader's got it or the squad. Doesn't really matter. I want you guys to use the squad because you've got these guys. If he breaks, do we care? That's the question you need to ask. If this unit with the demo charge CXs, question, do we care that he CX'd?
Well, I heard you say no last time.
And why is that? You heard what I said, but do you understand why?
Already a 30 on the IFT and getting a 1 or a 2 morale checks already pretty good.
Right. And look what terrain he's in now compared to the wooden building that we had before, gentlemen.
+1, yeah.
He's in worse terrain.
Yeah.
It's just like he's in a wooden building. And that's normally where we want to throw our demo charges of wooden buildings, stone buildings. So what does the +1 matter? It doesn't do anything in placement. It does nothing in placement. Only if you're placing a demo charge or a tank. I'm sorry, and that's pretty much a shitty event anyway, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty a shit fest. You might as well just throw it on yourself if you want to do that. At least you get some enjoyment out of it. So,
by the way, it appears as if the odds of those two squads, chances of one of them placing the demo charge looks like it could be 16 out of 36.
Oh, 33% chance. I'll take it.
Well, it's more than 33. That's almost 1 in 2.
Oh, so guess what, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Hold on. Where's that little bastard? I think I deleted him.
It's a little less than 1 in 2 because you have if my Bayesian math is correct, you have a 2 in 36 chance of both of them placing a demo charge.
Oh, that's true. There's that benefit.
Yeah, that's 2 in 36 of both of them placing the smoke. You have a 20 in 36 chance of neither one of them placing the smoke. And then the remainder would be the 14 out of 36. That's the chance of one of them placing the smoke.
Yeah, it's almost half. It's almost half.
So it is almost half.
So it's almost just like you have a 666 squad there. And that's including, now Mark, give us the numbers on one guy not being CX'd. So with the one guy being CX'd.
That was one guy not being CX'd. So you said one of them was
no, how about neither of them being CX'd? Let's run the numbers.
Neither of them being CX'd. Well, that would be, you'd be 4 and 36 of both of them placing it, 16 and 36 of neither one of them placing it, and so that would be 20. So it's another 16 out of 36. So it's a 20 out of 36. So it's a greater than 1 in 2 chance.
Right. So 33% chance would be 24.
33 would be 12. So you're talking 20 out of 36.
Yeah. So 66% chance is 24.
Yeah, 66 is 24. So it's greater than, it's between a half and 2/3.
Right. Pretty damn good. Does the American squad only has 50% chance?
Right.
So 2 squads together far exceed this. Plus, the advantage that we have in that, gentlemen, is what? The 8 morale. We're going to be taking shots. We're going to survive far more than the American squads. So, by Mark's example, 2 5.4H drop in smoke is almost equivalent to the 6.66 drop in smoke, but our survivability rate is far higher than the 6.66. So these are even better troops than the Americans in this particular instance, assuming we don't get fired on. But if we do get fired on, we're going to take those morale checks better. So we're going to have more of a force reserved. So, good deal. Excellent.
But you are going to be using up more of your force. If you want to guarantee the American, then you still have to use 2 squads.
Right, but that's all right. But our objective is the AA gun, so we have to use everything we can get, gentlemen. Next thing we do is we can assault move this guy here. Is that the best case? Maybe not. So let's leave him out last because he's the only leader we have up there. But this guy here moves 2. It is CXing 4. What is this guy going to do? 9 times out of 10, what's he going to do? When you're CXing.
You know, if he's facing a demo charge, he's probably going to fire now.
He's probably going to fire.
Yep.
Do we care if we break? That's the next question. Or that's the question before you move. Do you care if you break?
You're not that concerned because you can route back to your 8-0 leader.
Right.
And you've swallowed up his first fire opportunity.
Right. He's first fired. You're here. If you move here, will he pursue you?
Almost not.
He almost will not, because this guy was going to move over here to cover him. Remember, you're going to cover your guy. If he moves over here and tries to DM him, guess what he just did? He can't fire on anybody over here, and it frees up these guys. So you're pulling him out of position if he wants to screw with your DM guy. If he wants to chase him forever, that's fine. If he moves over here, DMs him, guess what? You just move there. If he wants to pursue you faster, you just move there. And he's spending the entire game chasing one guy down. That's fine. You're going to rally eventually. I mean, that's not bad. That's a 5 rally. It's not bad at all. So you're here. Broken. Let's say the leader moved with you and the leader didn't break for whatever reason. And again, when you break, your CX is gone. So you lose the CX. And you put the threat on him. Now, what can we do? with the demo. Now the demo comes into play. We need this guy first fired because he's got to fire that, right? Once you place your smoke here, you either move here first with the demo charge to force that fire, and maybe you won't need both units to drop smoke, right? Or both guys drop smoke and he says, okay, I'm licking my chops at S3, and then you have to force his fire this way because he might suck up a demo charge too. Okay, but we want to get the demo charge here. Now, what route do we take? Let's say he didn't first fire, and he didn't take the bait. Do you drop your demo charge on this guy if he doesn't first fire? Well, that's a question. If he doesn't first fire, do you place the demo there?
You can, but then you can first fire when you place it.
Okay, right. So essentially, is this wasting a demo charge in either instance? If he first fires, which most likely he will be at that point.
No, because you still get his first fire.
Right, you still get his first fire, which helps us over here. And if you don't get his first fire, and let's say he fires on this, let's say he's going to fire this unit. What's likely going to happen to these guys later?
I mean, they're like,
they're gonna die.
yeah, they're not going to be liking life in the advancing fire phase. That's probably true.
If he doesn't fire, the likelihood of him breaking is extremely high. Next question. What's my next question, gentlemen?
Where's he going to route?
Where's he going to route? This is where the 8-0 comes into play. You go here. Where's he going to route if this is the end, if this is the beginning of the route phase? Remember, he can see us here.
U5, I guess.
U5?
U5 maybe.
Is that closer to U8?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's going to be, he's gone. He's toast.
Same distance, isn't it? Oh,
One,
no,
two.
never mind. It's closer, yeah.
Yeah, right? These are the key things you need to look at, especially if you're defending. If you want to suck that up, you're going to break and you're going to die. Is that a good exchange for a demo charge? All you have to do is break the unit to kill him. Is that a good trade? A demo charge for a squad and a leader and an LMG?
So, yeah.
In this scenario, I would probably put that as a win. Yeah.
Right? If you're questioning whether it is or not, take a look at your troops again. When your troops move, how does that affect their firepower? When these units moved up here, how does it affect their firepower here versus them prep firing against that unit?
Still on a 4.
Right. Or an 8. Or if you fire them together, it'd be an 8 chart. It's going to be the same when you move or not. So 8 plus 2, because he's in place, or plus 3, which is like a stone building, sort of like, assuming you move them a little closer, right? Because they'll move a little closer as the game progresses. You can actually just fire on them to break them. But what stopped us from firing on them to break them? These units in front that are a block. If you get rid of all of his, like, essentially defensive, facilades and stuff like that, if he breaks and dies, and that's a horrible spot. Why? Because there's nowhere to route in this game. That eliminates a unit. This, same thing. So this is an option. Whether one of you throw a demo charge or not is fully up to you. I would probably throw the demo because you need to crack him. Once you crack him, he might lose gumption. He might get nervous because now when these guys are gone, what's defending this? Assuming you don't even want to throw the demo charge there. Even if you place this again at that point.
By the way, Stu, you should probably say place and not throw.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, the starter kit guys, it's the same thing. So
yeah.
If you want to place the demo charge there, yeah.
I'm saying, yeah, you probably should.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Thank you. So if you place the demo charge here, do you necessarily need to place the demo charge on this unit? Do you necessarily need to place that on that unit? Based upon our ability to fire on the move. Let's say we spread out. Let's say we advance him over here. This guy advance. Assault moves down here. Right? This guy's going to blow up. I mean, that's a 30 plus 1, 7 morale. He's looking at a 3 morale checks. He needs 4s to pin. If he pins, we're going into close combat. If he pins, he's a lucky bastard because he rolled 2 4s. Right? He's not going to roll 3s, gentlemen. He's not going to roll 3s. Look at that. Oh my God, that's it. So he's breaking, he's dying, he's gone. We advance, right? Let's say we advance right there. This is the situation. This is gone. Do we need a demo to take this gun out now? Do we need a demo to effectively attack this position in the defensive fire phase? All right, what are we looking at? We're at 5, 5, and 3. It's 12. Got a +1 for here, +1 hindrance, +2 here. 12 plus 4. Not a great shot. But a 5 gets a normal route check. A 6 gets a pin check. Not great. 5, 5, 5, and 3 is what? 16 plus 2. A little bit better shot. A 7 is a 1 morale check. Not bad, not shabby. But the point is, we don't need a demo now to take out that position. He can't shoot us all. I mean, it's unlikely he's going to be 8 plus 1 on every single one of those units, even the unit in the wheat field, because he's got a hindrance here. 8 plus 1 on everybody. So essentially, using the demo charge on the non-quote victory condition hex is exactly the same thing we did in the other scenario. You blow up the guy that's in front of you, that's getting to the objective hex, and now it makes it easier to get there. It's now easier to get to this location because you don't have to worry about these guys cutting route paths, chasing broken units down. They're gone. They're gone. Even if they break and they could route back here, is the same situation occurring. Exactly the same situation because these guys are broken. And guess what? You're DMing him the rest of the game. That's assuming that he can route that direction because you guys get on the left-hand side. We're not even taking that into consideration. So we're just ignoring that. All right. So let's say you don't take that route. Okay? Because sometimes you don't. For whatever reason. Let's say for whatever reason you're not going to do that. And this guy's still good. And we still have our smoke here. And our demo charge is still up here. This is the next situation here. Our smoke's here. We got our smoke. Right? Almost 50% chance to drop our smoke. Poof, right there. That's the most beautiful thing in the world is this smoke right here. This is the most beautiful thing in the world. Where's the demo charge going? Tell me your route to the objective hex. The gun is pointing this direction. You're getting to this location and dropping a demo on him. How you getting there? Which path do you guys want to take? And you could say whatever path you want, and then I'll show you a path that I might take. Remember, this guy hasn't fired yet, and we're not threatening him, so he's going to fire up on you. He's got no other targets. Let's say these guys assault moved over here, some bullshit like this, right? Let's say they just kind of fiddle-faddled around, and so he's not a threat to this guy, right? Because now you showed your move. He's not moving anymore. No threat here. He's only got one target to look at. He's only has to look at the demo charge because he hasn't moved yet. This is the only guy that he's worried about in this whole side of the map. Where's he going? Is he double timing? Is he just moving normally? What's he doing?
I would CX him.
Okay, let's put a CX on him. Now where's he going?
You're gonna have to anyway. There's no way to get to him otherwise.
All right. I think he was right here. Actually, I think he was right. Damn it. I think he was closer. Sorry, guys. Let's put him here. Still out of line of sight over here. Same thing. Put him here. He's there. He starts there. So he CXs.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Well, now, I mean, if he's there, then you can go, S2, S3, T3.
T3? Do we
Well,
want to
you
go to
can
T3?
Oh, no, that's right. You can't because that'd be 3, that'd be 5. So you'd have to expend 7 to get there.
Right. Why don't we want to go to T3? It's not directly apparent.
Well, the reason is right now you've expended 3. If you go into the smoke, you expend 5.
Right.
And then in order to place a demo charge, you have to expend the number of MP No, it's the number of MP required to enter
Right.
to enter the hex. So that's still 6, but you expend it in T3.
Right.
So you can make it.
Right. You could go there. S3. Why don't we want to go straight? 2, 4, drop.
Because the 7-0 stack can fire at you in T2.
Right. Let's say he was busied. Let's look at the AA gun. What options does the AA gun have? If he fires at you here, right? How many? He has to change. 1.
He has to change 2. Yeah. Now he's going to take two more for the smoke.
Right.
Right.
So,
2 more for the smoke. -1 for your non-assault movements. So it's a 16 up 3.
right. Not too bad. Not great, but not too bad. So a 7 is a normal morale check. Do we pass a normal morale check most of the time?
You do.
We do. And then we plop that on there. He might get rate of fire, he might sustain fire. Or not sustain fire, subsequent fire. There's no sustained in I don't know why, but anyway. He'll fire on you again. That will be an 8. The same thing. It'll be half firepower, but now, again, we weathered that first shot. The second shot is going to be less effective, so we're not worried about that. Another option you might want to take is moving over here. Let's say he wants to fire at you at this location. This guy might actually come to bear on that location. Do we care too much about this one here? Maybe. He has to swivel, +1. And what else are we looking at? +2, +3. Not assault movement. That's an 8 +2. That's the same thing as a subsequent shot from this unit here. When this unit is in this location, is in this orientation, right? Always take a look at your enemy's guns. For him to swivel that first shot, he rotates 2 hex sides. For him to fire on you in this location, he has to do what? Swivel 1 more, regardless of what direction he goes. +3, +2 for the smoke, and right there. And it's not point blank. But he had to swivel 3 at that point. He's never going to affect that unit at that location. If he does this swivel, then you don't go to S4, you go into the smoke in place. And then this guy's going to fire, and he's going to fire. Much more effective. Okay? Remember, the most important unit is going to move last. The demo charge move last. You notice the difference. We get to place it here, and then we just weather the results of the attacks. It's going to be like an 8 plus. In this case, it'll be the subsequent shot will be an 8 +1, right? Point blank, halved for doing subsequent, +2 smoke, -1 non-assault movement. So in that case, it'll be an 8 +2 or 8 +1. We can still weather that. We're an 8 morale unit. That's what they're there for. Can he break? Yes, he can break. Happens all the time. But notice the difference in getting that unit over there. We don't want to move him first because we don't have the smoke. We don't have the 8-0. We don't have these guys dropping smoke. And we don't have this potentially taking this shot away. This guy moves first, right? If that's your modus operandum, gentlemen, if your modus operandum is to bait the shot always, that makes this maneuver even better with the other demo charge. Let's say without the leader, you're CXing, because you still can place it if he doesn't fire, then you definitely place it. Then he has to fire, forcing his hand, thinking that you're just going to bait out a shot. We'll throw the demo on him then. Then you win. Then you're going to win the situation. Because again, if he breaks, then all your troops just kind of surround the gun and you shoot at him next turn defensive fire. Is the gun moving anywhere? It's not going anywhere. He could abandon it technically, but he's not going anywhere. He's going to take a couple hard shots next round, period. Will he survive them both? Unlikely. And then next turn he's broken, you just move past him. Gun number 1 gone. But it takes the coordination of 1, possibly 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 units to get that to happen. Demo charges do not act alone. Sometimes they do, like if you're running through stone buildings, you just got a stone building to protect yourself. We don't have any of that here. We have wheat fields and open ground. We smoke. You see exponents on your squads, you think smoke, unless it's a 1, and then it's desperation. You see an American squad, the first thing I think about American squad is where can I drop smoke for my units? If I move 1, 2, 3, and I can't move anywhere else, what am I doing? I'm dropping smoke in my hex for 4. Because that blocks all shots. It's an inherent terrain. It's just like Orchard, right? Anything crossing it, this shot over here will cross that top portion of that hex right there between U3 and U4. Now it's a +2. And if this guy drops smoke over here, now it's a +4. He's not hitting anything over here. And you got 5 and 6. Matter of fact, he doesn't even have LOS. These guys just dance out in the open over here. There's no LOS between this unit and V3. Drop smoke in your hex. Just one movement factor, just drop in your hex. As long as nobody else, as long as it's not going to screw up movement for other people, drop in your hex. Especially in starter kit, because you could see everywhere. You can see through there's almost no really odd blockages. Drop smoke. Anytime you see exponents, drop. Same thing with 548. 548 moves 1, 2, 3. He's got nothing else to do. Drop smoke. That means this unit can go 2, 3, 4, 5. Assault move, after CXing. Maybe he wants to move behind him. And this guy assault moves over here. Just drop smoke. You've got nothing else to do. Just drop it. Baits the shot out here. We need to bait the shot. Coming back to this guy. And then, whether or not, at this point, you evaluate this. This demo charge usage here essentially is almost the same thing as placing this out. Because he's going to be broken in the next defensive fire phase. Mm-hmm. He just is. You have a lot of firepower. He might be able to break up a couple guys, but these guys aren't coming up. He's got 4 squads. He's got 4 squads to deal with down here. All right. And we're going to move these guys off the map here for a second. And real quick, we're just going to cover this situation down here. Let's say you have your leader. You want to drop your demo charge over here. Same sort of thing. Leader does not move first. He doesn't move first to take a 16 chart. Right? Who moves first? 1.5, 3. Or 1.5, 3 for that matter. Either way, this is a tougher spot. 1.5, 3. Is he going to fire at him? Maybe not. Maybe. If he fires at him, good. Why? Why is that good? Because he's not going to get a 16 shot out on our demo charge. Whether he survives this or not is almost irrelevant if your plan is to drop the demo. And if he goes 3 here, what are we going to do at 3?
Right. Yep.
We're going to roll a die and try and drop some smoke in our hex for 4. Right? Because if he drops smoke in the hex, and if he fails, then these guys can do like Mark says. We don't necessarily want to get right in front of the AA gun's face, but it's possible. These guys might need a CX and drop a 1 smoke. If you need to get that in this turn, you probably don't need to. But if you're a little bit closer, let's say everybody's like 3 hexes away, then we can go boom, boom, drop smoke. We can go boom, 1.5 there, and then drop smoke there, and then he's done. He can go 1.5 here, drop smoke there, he's done, and that guy has a chance to do it. Really shitty rolls. But anyway, you get the idea. You have 3 chances of dropping smoke there. Because if he fires, then the demo charge is a better chance of getting there. Just like the last situation we had in the last map, the winter map. He lost his 16 chart. We want to avoid that first shot. If we pull that out of him, then it's just an 8 shot. Much, much, much lower chance of him affecting us. Much lower chance. Look at the columns. 8 to 16, 2 column shift. That's equivalent to a -2 leader firing on you. Your 16 firepower column is the same thing as like an 8 -2. Do you want an 8 -2? Nope. You want an 8 +2 or 8 +1? Yep. 8 +1's a 6 chart. Can we deal with 6 charts with 9 and 8 morale? We got 8 morale. Can we deal with the 6 chart even? Yep. We take the 6 charts all day. That's a normal morale check. We should pass those all day. We should pass the normal morale checks all day. Most likely. We have a much better chance to pass the normal morale check. And the benefit of trying to get a guy there in that smoke And if this guy were cracked, that's really huge. Because now the gun's out of commission, and it's really centered on his defense. Is it easier to get it to here than there? I don't think so. He's got some squads here. The squad, do we care about the squad's firing? Let's say the squad fires 4 even shot right there. Do we care about that squad leaving residual firepower? Let's say he fires an 8 plus 2 on you right there. Do we care about these guys? What's the residual on that attack? 8 plus 2.
1, 2 should be 1.
How'd you get a 1?
If I've got the hex correct, we're talking these 2 units here firing here.
Yeah, let's say it's 8 plus 2. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, so I mean, right. So it's 4, but you go down. So normal residual would be 4. Go down 2 columns because of the 2 hindrances.
Do we care that there's a 1 residual and a hex with 8 morale units?
No, not really.
Nope.
There's always a chance. Yeah, there's always a
Nope.
chance.
These guys are first fired. At that point, if we can get to R7 and then drop a smoke in that hex, then that's even better. After these guys first fire. Technically, you might want to bait these guys out with these little 238s down here. Again, just like we used 6 or 7 squads up in this top portion here to get the 1 demo charge off, we're going to use 6 or 7 units to do exactly the same thing down here. These 238s are coming out. We're giving him that -2 shot. Why? If he first fires with this -2 shot, and then this guy first fires. Oops. Let's say he fires here and he misses, and this guy says, "Oh, I love that -2 shot because that's just the way I am." Right? And he blows up. Let's just say he dies. Let's say he gets lucky, he dies. Where's this delete? Right? Well, first of all, it allows this unit to get here for free. And next of all, it allows all your 548s to ignore these guys because they're firing at 2 plus 1. And as 8 morale units, do we care about 2 plus 1s? Or 2 evens? Nope. The answer is no. We don't care about 2 plus 1s. At that point, you just move adjacent to him. That might be a 4 minus 1. Still, that's a 7-4 normal morale check, which we're going to pass most of the time. Even if it's point blank. And then we try and drop our smokes. Either smoke here or wherever. Bait that shot out. And who moves first in this situation? In this situation, who moves first?
Well, during the route phase, I mean, we're talking route?
No. We're talking movement phase. In this situation with the movement phase.
Oh, okay.
Who's moving first? The half squads. The half squads are coming. They're CXing. The half squads are CXing because they're kind of far away. 1, 2, 3. He doesn't want you to get in the building. First of all, you're 8 morale. You can just laugh as 8 plus. You can laugh as 8 plus 3 all day long. He might fire you. He might not. He might fire you. But if he makes it, then he makes it. And they're both CX, right?
Yep.
Does that hurt us if we want to jump into close combat with this green unit?
Not as much because you're both going to be -1 and you're both going to be +1 in your ambush roll, so they cancel each other out.
Right. So the ambush is equivalent. The close combat's a little different, but the ambush is equivalent. So you could actually do that. Whether you want to do that, it's debatable, depending on how the rest of your turn goes. Advanced phase, lots of different things happen. But even if we only bait out 1 shot, that's a win. Now this becomes much more assaultable. Even with only, well, I think we had another unit over here. I think we had 4 units. This becomes much more assaultable. Remember, this is 1-3, drop smoke. 1-3, drop smoke. You know? This could be a CX. 1-3, 4.5. I can't go there. 1-3, and then here, then drop smoke. Or drop smoke here, wherever you want to put it, where this leader can go. Actually, this guy can go 1-3. If you're doing that, this guy's taking just, he's going to be scared. And let's say for whatever reason the demo charge guy doesn't even go there and he breaks 2 of these guys. Right. I mean, somebody's going to break. What's your firepower on right now? 8 plus 2. What are you going to do with the advanced phase?
Yeah.
You're doing this 100% of the time. especially if these guys are broken. Even this is 1 to 2. He's unlikely going to kill you. You have the advantage here. This guy's got to deal with 2 half squads, and that's a 2 to 1. These guys are broken, right? If all your guys break up here, do you move your leader to throw the demo? If all these guys break here, does your leader go up there to throw a demo charge if 3 of them break or 2? Maybe not. Maybe he hits his spot. Maybe he goes here, and these guys route back here because he can't route up this direction because that AA gun's still in situation. He can low crawl. He actually can go 1, 3, 4, 5. Not reachable. Can't go over here. This is reachable. These aren't reachable. So he can go to any other location that's reachable. He can claim T8 as his destination, and then you move your leader there. And then that's like a +2 building. Is he going to fire on those guys? Nope. He's going to be tied up in melee. He's going to be dead. These guys. Do you want this guy to tie him up in melee? And this guy here, you might just want to move here if they're CX'd, because he's not going to start moving this way. You know, tie him up. You have the advantage. This guy's going to die. Objective. These guys have to rally. These guys have to rally. So at that point, you probably don't want to throw your demo charge up there first. That's why you move the demo charge last, especially if it's your leader. Because if you're using your assault troops to go up there to try and drop smoke and they break, if your leader goes up there and break, your entire flank is just destroyed. And then he pursues you and kills you. He just takes these green units with a 1 leader and he runs you down and kills you. You can't afford that to happen. But you take the fight to him. So most likely, like you guys know, you guys play ASL. Most likely it's just be a melee. You might get lucky here, but if you don't, that'll be a melee. They can't pursue your broken units. And then guess what? He rallies in your turn, and you just simply move them up. And then you could either join the melee or you could shoot into the melee. At this point, it'll be 12 minus 1. You know, you might break, but he's certainly going to break. You know, that might be an option that you want to have. Because I certainly wouldn't want to lose that guy to 1 minus 2. And then where's he got to route? Most likely in this sort of situation, if you've got other units on the left-hand side covering, he can't route anywhere, and he just simply dies. Well, they just have to stay. Yeah, he just simply dies. He can't run anywhere. Your guy can route back, theoretically. He goes this way. You know, because this guy will be gone. That's 2 to 1. That'll go in your favor, hopefully. So you have to look at when your demo charge many units. You know, and can those units break? If they break, when they break, you need to have a plan for your broken guys. Not just they all break and all my guys are broken and I failed to place my demo charge and I blew up and shit, I don't know how to place demo charges. You do know how to place demo charges. You do. It's just that it takes more units to do it. Not 1 unit is not placing the demo charge. 4 to 5 units is placing a demo charge. And you don't necessarily need to put it on the 16 shot. You don't need it on the 16 chart. You might need to destroy the guy next to him. Because when he's gone, then you can deal with the 16 chart just by the massive units that you have. By the 4 or 5 units that you're using to assault that location. Use your numbers to your advantage. The 1 demo charge is rarely going to make it in the open. Just running willy-nilly to place that demo charge there. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Don't ever think of this. Think of smoke. If I don't have the smoke, I'm not going anywhere. You know, you might have another turn or two to be desperate later. But as Mark showed with his stats, right, with his 2 and his 1, it's almost a 50% chance. That's pretty damn good. Just wait till next turn. Just wait till next turn. And guess what? Your CX will be gone because it's gone at the beginning of your movement phase. And now you have 2 2s. Boop, 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 boop. And when you start in T2, you know, if you start there and you drop smoke here for 2, guess what? You assault move by dropping 2 and then 3 over here. Now you're getting closer. The other guy drops 2. He might move the same direction. He might stay there. You get a little bit more mobility. You're still getting closer. You don't have far to go. Your objective is 2 hexes away. This guy's 5 hexes away. That's assault move advance phase. Assault move advance phase. 2 turns. You don't have to run straight at him. It's 2 turns. You're on him in 2 turns. You're on this guy, 2 turns. Assault move advance phase. Assault move advance phase.
Sure. Yep.
If you don't get any smoke, creep up. You have 8 morale. 6 morale, different story. You're probably gonna get blasted. You're gonna rally faster because they're Americans, but you know, if you're dealing with the 4-2-6s in the last game, they're not gonna rally. You need to use them for a different purpose. They are not assault troops. The 4.26s are not the assault troops. They're not the heavy lifters. Although I did have a different variation to use them in that game there, but that wasn't the purpose of it. It's just talking about the demo charges and getting them where they need to go. You need to drop that smoke first. One, it scares him. It scares your enemy. If you drop a smoke at T3 and you have no incentive of moving that demo charge over there, and this is the reason why you need to just start throwing smoke regardless of what your incentive is, as long as it doesn't block your movement paths. Because that smoke's going to be gone by the time you fire at him in the advanced fire phase. You drop a smoke grenade, not a problem. Now he says, oh shit, he's going to start moving that unit and he's got a demo charge. I need to worry about that. What does that do to this AA gun over here in P3? It puts him on alert. That means there's going to be some action going on that right-hand side. Therefore, it might alleviate your units on the left-hand side to get away with something. Right? If you've got this unit on alert or other guys that are close, let's say this guy was up here, the LMG was in P2, and you guys got, you say you got a couple guys over here, you know, you've got some of the action, a bunch of half squads in this section. These guys are on alert because it looks like the assault's coming over here. What's going to happen here? You've got these units, you know, you can move these guys first, get them a little closer. Now he says, oh shit, I need to make a decision. I got a swivel to fire here, or firing through hindrances here. If you give him a decision to make that he doesn't like, you're winning the game. Whatever he rolls is irrelevant. What he rolls is what he rolls. But if you don't give him those decisions, if you bring this up here, you drop smoke here, don't move your demo charge guy first. Move these guys first, especially someone like this. If this guy's a 5.48, that's even better. Because now he says, oh shit, that's only A +2. You know, that's a good shot. I'll take that shot. Boom. Now what did you just do? You help the demo charge. Now the demo charge play becomes a little bit higher percentage. Now this guy in the demo back here, when he CXs, when he goes here, and he says, oops, oh shit, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stone building. You just moved into a stone building right here. You move here, still thing, same thing. If he swivels that way, stone building. 1, 2. And then the 2 hindrances from there, from swiveling. Or maybe one, I think, there's two from that way. Stone building. Do you want to be in a stone building placing demo charge? Damn well, damn right you will. You don't want to be in open ground. But right there, that's a stone building for this guy. And then you plop it. If this guy, you know, if this guy plopped one over here, and then you could double damage him. Blow him up. And you still got one more to go. And remember, you don't need all 3 demo charges for all 3 units, because by that time, you simply have sheer firepower. 5.48s, fire essentially at full firepower in the advanced fire phase. You assault move them, full firepower. You CX them, full firepower. +1. But when you deal with shitty wheat fields, 4+1's not bad. Better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So 5.48s, know your units, know their capabilities. These are 5.46s. These are 5.46 American second line units. You got to approach it 100% different type of way. At that point, you can't do anything without smoke. At least these 5.48s, if they fail to smoke, they can be desperate and move. It's not the best thing in the world, but your 8 morale might be able to carry you if you get lucky. But you don't want to rely on the dice rolls. Just assume the 7's coming, and you're happy with a 7. Whether you pass it or fail it, as long as your 7 can essentially get where you want, you're winning the game. As long as your 7 gets you there, you're winning the game. Because that's what you're going to roll most of the time. Is that 7. 7 and lower, obviously. So if you fail the game by the 7s or lowers, then it's, you know, that's just the dice. We don't really care about the dice. I mean, the dice happen. We all know that. But as long as you're taking the good odd, the good maneuvers, and it does take numbers of units. This is not easy. This is not easy to think about. That's why we're going over it here, and I appreciate you guys sticking around. This is not easy to think about. If coordinating units to do one thing, we want to do one thing. Drop a single demo charge on that guy there or this guy here. We want one thing to happen here. But it takes 4 or 5 guys or more to get that to occur.
Yep.
As long as you, just like routing, stop looking at routing as, oh, okay, I'm just going to move for like the, that's why I asked you guys about the 8 morale unit or the 5 morale unit moving into that wooden building to cut routes. Use it offensively. 90% of your players will route those sons of bitches into the woods to the leader. You watch it. You watch other players' games. You tell me where those guys route. They're going to go route to their leader if their leader's right there. Or if not, they're going to route away from the enemy. Not many guys, maybe you guys will. I hope you guys will. Route one guy to the building, whether it's the 8 morale or 5 morale. Doesn't matter to me because the 8 morale, you can argue he's going to rally and he can actually be a spear point, you know, a focal point to get into that building at the bottom. That actually might be the better move mathematically. And then the 426, just move them up. You don't need to risk both of them down there. But it causes problems for the Germans because you route first. Always think about how you can screw them to route first. So remember, just slow your game down, especially your route phase. Especially if you route first, slow your game down. Sometimes you don't have to route. If you don't route, will that affect his route? If it doesn't, then don't worry about it. But can you get your guys into a position, however small, whether you put your guys at risk or not, slow down and consider the route phase the movement phase and analyze the route phase as you were to a movement phase in terms of how it can benefit you. As soon as you guys go to that level, you'll see stacks of units like we saw here disappear. These guys will disappear. You're never going to get a KIA. I've never seen a KIA result yet in SK, hardly, unless like 36 minus 2 you're in the open or something like that. This broken unit, whether it be a 30 chart or a 12 plus 1 or whatever, once he breaks, as long as you cut his route, he's gone. He's simply gone. You just remove him. So when you break him with that normal morale check, the normal morale check is equivalent to a KIA. That's what you have to think the next step, not just what you see in front of your face. If he breaks, does he die? No. Maybe don't fire on him. If he breaks, does he die? Yes. Fire on him. Or can I move somebody else to look? Does the 8-0 make any difference in this match? Absolutely. Because if he could route up this way, because for whatever reason, let's say these guys were over here and you couldn't see them, you have to move him here so he can't route that direction. So he just can't route that. And you already guys got here, so he can't route there. Make sure he can't go up there. Because if he's here, behind the trees, guess what? And you're over here, and you just broke him. 1, 2, 3. And then he sees it. Oh, for that guy. And then he continues. 4, 5. And now he's over here. He's not dead. He goes here, runs away. Bring him up. Kill him. Wounded leader. Wounded leader kills people. 6 plus 1 wounded leaders kill people. Mm-hmm. They kill people. So please look at your route phases as possible offensive or defensive actions, not just routing to a leader. Because especially if you have 8 morale units, you have a self-rally. If he's the only guy broken that's not near a leader, let him self-rally next turn. He'll need an 8 if he's in terrain. I'll take that all day. What do you guys normally have to rally a 7 morale? If you have a broken 7 morale unit with an 8-0 leader, what do you need to rally if he's DM'd? You know?
4.
Yeah, it's not great. But if you could self-rally him and he's by himself, you need a 7. Let him self-rally. Take advantage of that rule. Let 8 morale units, I'd leave them alone. The 666 breaks, no problem. If he's the only one broken, not concealed. I'm so dumb. You know, 8. Because self-rally and terrain cancel. It's a rally. 9, okay, I just killed myself. The 12, then that's it. Okay, there we go. Oh, Jesus. Come on, dice bot, you son of a bitch. Jeez. Holy.
There you go. Wow.
There we go. Good Lord. I'm uninstalling. But an 8 rallies the unit. You don't need a leader with him. If he's your self-rally guy, just say, okay, designate a self-rally guy. I need to make sure my leader's with my other guys so he can rally. I don't want lots of broken guys everywhere else. And then he's up and ready. And guess what? He just continues on his movement, dropping smoke, doing things, doing bad things. piece of cake. Remember, he's not going to rally in your bonus turn because you can't rally in your bonus turn. He's going to rally in your turn with an 8. And if he gets fired upon, great. That means he's not firing on other units that are doing stuff. So, well, that's all I got, gentlemen. Sorry about my recording was chopped up in the beginning. Thanks. Super late for some of you guys, but just interesting aspects of demo charge. There's lots of other situations we can get into, but I want to show you an approach where you had a little bit of cover, not great cover, a little bit of cover, and how to eat those shots. You need someone to eat the shots, and then allow the demo charge to do his work. Here, you need to have coordination of more units, just like the other one. Eat the shots, drop some smoke, force fires. The same concept in both things. This is much more dangerous because you're dealing with open ground. That's all. So you need to drop the smoke. The Russians don't have that option. That's why I wanted to cover both options. One is with the smoke, one's without smoke.
Sure,
the one with smoke, you're essentially covering the approach by your broken units. You're breaking your units to draw fire, so your other guys can make it there. Here, you could drop smoke. Most likely they won't break if he's firing through smoke. So you're preventing the break in this one. The other one, you don't care if they break because that's not the purpose. The purpose is to draw the fire. He's not going to kill you with a 16+1. Unless he rolls snake eyes. But if he rolls a snake eyes, good. That means he's going to roll 12 the next roll. He's a Visor Dice bot. You know. So, he's not going to roll. If you roll snake, again, you don't care about it. You assume he's going to roll 7. If he rolls a snakes, he rolls snakes. You can't do anything about that. But then again, you might roll snake on your demo charge and blow up like 12 hexes. So that'd be kind of cool. I'd be like, critical hit with demo charge attacks all the adjacent hexes will have firepower. That would be cool.
Oh,
that should have been a rule. That should have been a rule.
Yeah. Take that as an SSR, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I'll take it. If you roll a 4, that'd be kind of great. But anyway, I appreciate you guys sticking around. It's kind of late for you guys, but I hope this was informative. I kind of bounced around a little bit, but it's unfortunately, it's kind of what I do. Sorry about that. But I think it's necessary to be able to focus on. It's just not about the DC. It's about everyone around the DC. It's like a quarterback. Quarterback shit is what I was offensive line. You don't have an offensive line, you don't have a quarterback. Same thing. You need your offensive line to let your quarterback do his job. Exact same concept. As you see, there's a lot of things to think about when using your demo charges. Order of movement is key. You need to get those key units that can destroy you or damage you or pin you or whatever from being able to affect that demo charge carrier. With that, you might be able to take advantage of other instances where he might show that you're going to go after one source where another target is the actual source. Remember, 30 firepower is probably going to break any stack, even an 8 morale stack, right? That's going to be hard to deal with if you're sucking up a 30 firepower shot. And again, in starter kit, it's much more difficult to get that 30 firepower shot off. It's much more difficult, but if you can get it off more in the SK, you're going to be blowing people to hell in ASL if you happen to move on. So take a look what you have there. These aren't all the situations that's going to occur. There's a lot of different things. You need to evaluate the situations, evaluate the risks that your demo charge guy has to take. Maybe he needs to take a different route. Maybe that direct route is not the route you want. Maybe you want to go on the backside. Maybe you do want to keep it for the end game. It's all situational. You need to pause and you need to take a look at your units. And instead of just throwing them up there, pause and say, do I think he'll fire on him, knowing my opponent? Do I think he won't fire on him? And if he won't fire on him, sometimes that's even better, right? So analyze it, incorporate in your games, let me know how it works, and we'll see you next time on Tactical.